My dear students, welcome to EPG Pathsala. I am Dr. Jay Sridhar, Assistant Professor Agriculture Extension from Tamil Nadu Agriculture University. Today I am going to deal with yet a new topic and which is very famous among the students, that is e-literacy. To many of us, e-literacy means learning through electronic means, but that is not actually e-literacy. E-literacy means learning about the electronic devices that are used to give us information in day-to-day life. As we all know, the amount of information that we get through internet, mobile phones, laptops, televisions and radios, it all in some way or the other helps us to learn something that are happening around the world. But now I am going to say something about e-literacy, which means learning about these electronic devices and how these electronic devices are used among common public in order to educate them. So let us get into the topic. So e-literacy, as defined by the UNESCO, that is United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, refers to awareness, skills, understanding and reflective approaches necessary for an individual to operate comfortably in information-rich and IT-enabled environment. Most definitions of e-literacy or digital literacy covers three abilities: the ability to use digital technology, communication tools or network to locate, evaluate, use and create information; the ability to understand and use information in multiple formats from a wide range of sources when it is presented via computers; the ability to perform tasks effectively in a digital environment. To promote e-literacy, every state in India has initiated the project in their own names. For example, in Kerala, the e-literacy is promoted in the name of Project Akshaya. Initially, this project was started with a notable intention of making at least one member in each of 64 lakh families e-literate. The pilot project was started at Mallapuram and was inaugurated by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, former President of India, on 18th November 2002. From the initiation, 10% e-literacy was achieved in 8 districts in the phase 1 and the project has been roaring success. Nowhere has such project has been attempted or accomplished. The vision and the scope of the project is beyond comparison. The operation of Project Akshaya as unfolded so far consists of 3 distinct phases. The first phase is that of enabling the masses by imparting basic skills in computer operations and making them familiar with internet. This phase is the period of e-literacy training. In the initial phase, the Project Akshaya e-Center imparts basic training that not only familiarizes people with the basics and the scope of IT, but also ensures hands-on skill in operating a computer using the internet to at least one person in 64 lakh families in the state that makes it the largest rural e-literacy training project worldwide. Mallapuram was declared as the first e-literate district in India, followed by Kollam, Kozhikode, Thrissur and Kasaragod districts. So far, around 33 lakh beneficiaries were trained through this project in Kerala. There is a growing documentation on how computer-based technologies are impacting on communicative practices in schools, and many are suggesting that this requires new understanding about literacy. Some suggest that teachers need to use technologies as more than tools. They have to ensure that working with these technologies goes beyond simply locating and retrieving information. Users need to develop strategies that enable them to critically evaluate information and be able to work across semiotic systems in designing multimodal representative. It has been argued that literacy not only exists on screen or on paper, but also in practice that surrounds it and the situation in which literacy is carried out. Many studies investigating changes in multimedia argues that the form of representation makes significant cognitive demands on the users. Multimedia instructions can be more effective to empower teacher and learner and enhance learning outcomes. If digital literacy involves the ability to use computer-presented information in multiple formats from a wide range of sources, then use of multimedia in science will also require digital literacy. Though the concept of digital literacy is still developing, it is considered to be an ability to apply information technology in a complex, sustained situation and helps us understand the consequences of the action. Digital literacy in science education can be viewed as a relationship between process and skill-based component and concept-based component that are particular to a science classroom. The process or skill-based component include computer skills, that is, technical computer-related competence, and information processing skills and information processing skills, a competence that requires recognition of information need, retrieve, evaluate, use, and disseminate information. The concept-based component includes traditional literacy and subject literacy. Does e-literacy programs create digital divide? Well, let's see to it. Despite the fact that internet usage among older adults is low compared with other age groups, recent research in US also indicate that people aged above 65 are currently the fastest growing segment of the internet community. This is higher than that reported in the UK, India, and other Asian countries that puts usage of internet by older user at 15%. Surveys conducted by many researchers around the globe provide evidences that there are growing number of over 60 in using digital platform to acquire or learn something. This growth comes from a very low starting point. There remains many people who do not use the internet, and much further growth is needed before older adults are adequately represented online. The inequality of access to the internet, which is correlated not only to the age of the user but also by their level of income and education attainment, is frequently referred to as digital divide. More internet by older people as a grey digital divide. There are also strong correlation between non-users of internet and social exclusion and disadvantage. This is hardly surprising because age is correlated with non-use, and old people are often regarded as being socially excluded because they tend to have lower income and participate less in the social and economic activities. The existence of this divide may be unsurprising given that this generation of older people have lived the majority of their lives without the internet, and that older retrieves are unlikely to have experienced using computer technology during employment. While it is possible that this great digital divide is simply a generational phenomenon that will disappear over time as the next generation of seniors spend more of their working lives surrounded by computers and the World Wide Web. Locke and Jung warned that certain pattern of internet behavior may survive this generation of seniors. They suggested that older people in the future may continue to be wary of guarding their privacy and finances, which would mean that they could be less likely to purchase products or services online than younger people. The internet has enormous potential to benefit the lives of the older people. Online services such as email, banking, discussion list, general interest website, and chat rooms can facilitate in the learning and socializing of this age group and can help older people preserve their independence. The internet can also enable people to take an active part in the social and political processes. It is essential, therefore, that as the population ages and society becomes increasingly dependent on computer technology and the internet, the disadvantaged and the over 50s must be actively encouraged to get online, otherwise they will miss out. We live in a society where information and knowledge is power. Hence, those without internet access are increasingly being recognized as information poor. Factors affecting old age group in accessing internet for e-learning. Older people are a heterogeneous group. Indeed, they vary dramatically from fit, independent living retirees to the frail elderly in nursing homes with multiple disabilities. They also vary enormously in their interest, education, fitness level, lifestyles, level of income, and ages. Despite this, it is worthwhile to distinguish a number of common features and factors that affects the old people from using internet. The first one is poverty. Although older people belong to a heterogeneous group, there remain a strong association between age and poverty. Age Concern, for example, found that approximately 1 in 5 pensioners live in low-income households, and are more likely to live in houses that are substandard and difficult to heat. Help the Aged have also showed that females, ethnic minorities, and other pensioners are those groups most liable to be impoverished. It is possible that older people might find the cost of purchasing computers and telecommunication access prohibitive, even if some of these costs could be offset against savings that might be obtained from taking advantage of discounted project offered online. The second is health. Health problems becomes more common with age. Common health problems include musculoskeletal disorders like arthritis, heart and circulatory problems like hypertension, stroke, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. Changes in hearing and vision are a normal part of aging, and some people suffer severe hearing difficulties or visual impairment. Many of these conditions affect the ease in which older people can access computer and internet. Many tools are available, however, to help older people with health problems, and these are discussed in the later. The third one is retirement. Retirement is an aspect of life shared by majority of the people over 60. For many older people, the spare time associated with retirement provides an opportunity to explore new horizons and to develop their interests. By the same token, retirees without a job can experience a lack of purpose and structure to their daily routine and reduced social contact. Research has found that use of internet can be beneficial to retirees. ICM research found, for example, that 2/3 of the computer users aged 55 years and above surveyed through the internet had a positive impact on their lives. E-literacy in agriculture. The importance of farmers' information literacy and awareness towards agriculture produce and food security cannot be overemphasized. Sokoya and Alabi in 2012 observed that interpersonal connectivity between the farmers and agricultural extension agents will enhance farmers' information literacy, knowledge, and awareness of current trend in farming that will boost stages of farming and abundance food supply. The importance of farmers' information literacy cannot be overemphasized as they produce what the nation needs to feed her population all year round. Farmers' information literacy is seen as the farmer's ability to critically think and determine the extent of his information need and be able to access available information effectively and efficiently and evaluate the information to accomplish a specific purpose in farming. Different definitions are given to information literacy depending on the concept of the study. American Library Association in 1995 expressed that to be information literate, a person must be able to recognize when information is needed and have the ability to locate, evaluate, and use effectively the needed information. Information literate people are those who had learnt how to learn, having the ability and skill in critical learning. To be information literate is a lifelong learning. Emim Ali in 2012 observed that the information literate individual is able to determine the extent of information needed, access the needed information effectively and efficiently, evaluate information and its source critically, incorporate selected information into one's knowledge base, use information effectively to accomplish a specific purpose, understand the economic, legal, and social issues surrounding the use of information and access, and use information ethically and logically. The necessary information could be useful to farmers at different stages of farming, harvesting, marketing, and food storage. Storage of farm produce is not the sole duty of the farmer, but other stakeholders like investors who, though do not have knowledge of farming, but have the scientific knowledge of storage and financial capabilities to buy farm produce in large quantities at the peak of harvest season. Farmers need to know and plant more of such farm produce that investors are yearning for and be able to link the investors through different media. Such media expressed the strategic ways of marketing farm produce after harvesting. Farmers can get needed information through different channels, majorly through agricultural extension agents, mass media, folk tales, social networking, and interpersonal relationship with fellow farmers and relations, and agricultural project administrators like Agriculture Technology Management Agency and District Rural Development Agency officials. Different channels can be used in getting to identify types of information needs of farmers in rural Manipur in India. The use of communication channel or media is of great importance because the knowledge of it will provide keys for understanding and predicting outcomes of communication process. It is common knowledge that the practical visit transfer of knowledge will give better understanding to the farmers, especially the rural farmers who are seen to be less literate. Farmers in rural areas are predominantly not lettered, as reading printed media was way far from use by rural farmers from whom majority of the farm produce come. Therefore, it is asserted that exposure to various communication channels in farmers' local language is the wish of the farmers. Developing and understanding of extension sources and channels used by clients to obtain information is a prerequisite for efficient educational programming, because messages that go unheard or unseen cannot lead to change. There is a much ado to better the agriculture extension agents in delivering information to enhance farmers' information literacy to better future steps in farming. This shows that available information should be delivered in farmers' local language to give the best knowledge and understanding of the practical examples. Librarians, as information providers, could organize this awareness program through the use of mass media channels, like the use of projectors in showing films, organize play and talks to farms group in different communities. Lack of awareness of the importance of digital library and its role compound the problem of limited manpower in disseminating necessary information and teaching farmers on better use of current information that can improve experience of last planning season. So I would like to summarize with what we have dealt with e-literacy. The influence of computer competence, information processing skills, traditional language proficiency and science understanding levels in e-science learning environment should not be underestimated. In terms of traditional and subject literacy, people have to make sense of linguistically complex information, use high-order information processing skills when using common science simulations, understanding the subject, being confident and competent with respect to using available technology, and have language skills that enables them to establish link between microscopic, macroscopic and symbolic components of science. Digital literacy needs to be taught more explicitly if the available technology is to do more than simply provide increased amount of better presented data. Links should be established between visual text, symbols and icons, and variety of media should be used in order to support viewers' understanding. Oral narration and text information related to science is always best explained when merged on the screen. Learners need to be taught to read screens for information and for learning. They need to be taught how to retrieve information from any given screenshots. Learners must be taught in such a way that before they reach to a conclusion, they must be in a position to verify and confirm their interpretation of key information. I hope you have enjoyed the class. Thank you.